Well, first of all, congratulations on your job. What's the name of the company you're working for?
It's called Adevinta. The thing is that, yeah, I just learned through the interviews that they actually own several marketplaces in different places. And yeah.
Cool. Well, congratulations. I know all your hard work paid off. So
thanks.
So can you tell us a little bit about yourself, like your name, your age, if you're married, you got kids?
Not married, and I just turned 30
cool.
This month. Yeah, so hitting 30 and changing careers. And about myself, don't know what else to
where do you live?
I live right now in Germany, in Berlin. And
cool. I've been there. It's beautiful. A beautiful, beautiful city. I was there for about 19 days. I was there.
Yeah, it's a fun place.
Oh man, that's great. That's fantastic. And what was your educational background or career before you decided to enroll with Camblin? Were you into IT already?
No. So I myself, I actually come from a very different background. I went to what, at least in Spain, where I did high school, it's called social sciences, where you learn some statistics at high school level, but you don't go into high level math. It's more math applied to social sciences business that pushes you into business administration bachelor's, and I studied business administration applied to tourism, which in Spain is relevant.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, so no IT background really, just the thing that because of life working out the way it does, I ended up doing an internship at Trivago, that is tourism industry, although it's actually a price comparison, a meta search. And that's where I got in touch with IT and got curious and heard stories about people learning by themselves. Yeah.
Because that was my next question is why IT? Why IT?
Yeah, that's the thing. Actually, the internship that I did was in online marketing, and that's not the traditional marketing out of home with banners and stuff. Actually, it all goes through digital, right? Through screens, either laptop or phones. So it's not like a big requirement, but it's really helpful to understand how internet works. So that got me curious. And there is a lot of cooperation with technical teams. And I ended up realizing that collaboration was just a lot better if you understood things the way the engineers understood them. So even if at least to hold a conversation, I tried to become a bit more literate, and I ended up learning a bit by accent.
Great, thank you so much. So why did you choose Clarusway?
So during the quarantine, during the pandemic, I ended up at a position where the contract was fixed, was fixed term. It wasn't indefinite. And by the time it was a question if I was going to extend my contract with the company, we were still pretty much affected by the pandemic. So there was a lot of hesitance there, and something good here in Germany is that there is a lot of sponsoring for education. There is a lot of room for getting some sponsorship to learn new skills or extend the ones that you have.
That's awesome. Yeah,
exactly. So around that time, I was figuring out what to do, and the opportunity came up with Clarusway. It got my attention how the program was really well-rounded, I thought.
Awesome, very good. And what made you decide to enroll in Clarusway? And what was your first impression?
So yeah, the how well-rounded the program was, I think, was the main thing. It was also, now that I say that out loud, also really convenient that talking with Hassan in the first call. He seemed very approachable and interested in getting you to on board, whereas I didn't get the same vibe from other programs. So that's definitely I wasn't thinking about that.
That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my first impression, overall positive. I think it was also lucky that I was learning a bit by myself, so it wasn't overwhelming. I think it would be fair if it had been overwhelming if you just jump straight into the pool. But also quickly you can tell that the instructors are very happy to teach, so that shows also in the first days.
Awesome, very good. And what about your learning experience? Tell us about your day-to-day or your week-to-week, what you did there, your life at Clarusway as a student.
So we had around 4 hours of self-learning with a break then before going into around 4 hours also of learning with an instructor. In my case, I don't know if it is the same for all the other programs, but at least in my case, that began at 2:30 in the afternoon and until 10:30 night.
Oh, wow. Full day.
Full day, exactly. So
very cool.
Trying to get stuff sorted in the morning and then the whole day into either learning or practicing.
Was there any challenges during your learning journey, or how did you overcome that?
Challenges.
Maybe time.
I think in my case, it was luckily for me right now. I don't have a family that really depends on me time wise, so there wasn't really a big challenge outside of the learning itself. I think it can be fast paced since you're learning topic by topic, but then there's a lot of resources online. The instructors or the mentor are sharing also information with you.
Oh, so they did give you a lot of support. So they did give you a lot of support?
Exactly.
Fantastic.
So although the learning can be at some point challenging, at the same time, there is quite the network of support there.
And what about, how would you describe the classes in terms of the quality of instruction and career service provided?
In my case, I'm just starting my job next week, so it's early to tell. But from what I've heard from instructors, and also kind of from what I've seen before coming here, it's been, at least for me, the most important thing is that it got me confidence in what I knew, because I knew top line stuff before. I had some understanding and basic skills to write simple scripts, but then going through the training and having people to ask for stuff, it does feel like having more of a concrete knowledge out of which go out into the unknown. Okay, I don't really know this, but I have a solid ground out of which jumping into the next topics. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. So that's what I was going to ask you. Was there so you feel like you're prepared well for the challenges in a real life situation? Yeah.
So now what really stuck with me, I think, out of the training is the way to think about problems, to try to go and solve them. Not so much like you can expect to get out of the training with all answers to every problem that you can face, but rather actually the mentality to approach it and the vocabulary to express also to others and yourself what the issue can be.
So what about the instructors and mentors? How was the teaching system, the LMS curriculum? How was that?
Would you say that again? Sorry.
The instructors and the mentors that you had, how was the teaching system, like the LMS?
I enjoyed it, at least for myself. It was, I think, the right thing in in that the instructors present you, introduce you to content. Then you have previously you get to read the notes on the topic of the day. Then the instructor introduces you to it, and many times in class we would have the chance to do some little practice with the instructors, and then there would be a little tasks or projects to iterate over what was learned.
Okay.
So
Very
it's
nice.
fast-paced, but you're going over the same stuff from like 3 angles every time. And at least for me, that's a way to keep things interesting so it doesn't get monotonous. And at the same time, because of seeing it from different angles, it helps to stick.
Awesome. Very good. Very good. So what about the CMS, or the career management system, during your education and job placement process? Did you experience any, it doesn't sound like it, but did you experience any lack of motivation?
No, but also luckily, I think it's also not my case, because luckily I had been working before in like a corporate and startup-ish environment. So lack of motivation, I figure if I didn't have kind of a clear endpoint or goal after the training, would have been more there.
They helped you
in
with
the
it.
end, yeah, it's kind of this idea of the interviews and stuff. It was kind of present already, so
Okay.
everything kind of fit.
And so Clarusway with the CMS, they supported you all the way, right?
Yes. What was really, I think, the strongest point in my interaction with the CMS was the interview training. That was because I hadn't had up to this point interviews for tech.
I got you. That's
that
good.
was definitely good.
That's part of what I do. I didn't meet you before, but that's part of what I do. I love it.
That was, I think, for me, what shown the most.
Awesome. Fantastic. All right. So can you sum up your experience at Clarusway in 3 words or less?
I would say, at the top of my head, supportive, challenging, and valuable.
Awesome. Very good. Very good. Excellent. So you're in full stack, right? You're doing full
Yes.
stack. Do you have any tips or advice for students coming into Clarusway, how they can become a full stack developer?
What I think helped me the most was having use cases to practice and to have this thing of, I would love to solve this. I just need to know how. I just need the skill, because I figured that, especially when I was just starting to learn by myself from complete scratch, that I had no idea, even the thought of learning to program seemed very abstract, because I wasn't even sure how to approach any issue, right? So it's like, oh yeah, if you learn how to code, that would be something easy to solve. Yeah, but I'm lacking all the vocabulary around this.
Gotcha.
So I don't know. So if you do some very quick crash course to have the basic concepts, and you try to apply that to something in your day-to-day, it's gonna help. It's gonna, I think, speed things up.
So you speak more than one language?
I do what I can with English. My native tongue is Spanish and German.
Sí, habla español.
También, sí.
Sí, yo viví en Ecuador.
Ok, sí, yo nací en Venezuela.
Sí, Venezuela, mi vecino.
Sí.
Very good, excellent, yeah. So I've been in Ecuador for 10 years, but that's awesome. And so you like living over there in Berlin. How long have you been over there?
Berlin, I've been here for close to, we're reaching the 3-year mark. But I actually came to Germany in 2014.
I got you.
Yeah,
Very
because
cool.
of my exchange semester in university.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Yeah, a lot of people are leaving Venezuela for various reasons.
Yeah,
I got some really good friends that live in Ecuador now because of that. So
yeah, exactly.
yeah, so muy bien, muy bien. So what about, let me ask you this. What was the job search experience like after you completed your training? How long did it take you to find your current job? And how significant was Clarusway CMS or Career Management Services in helping you to find that job?
So I'm gonna say something that's gonna sound great for Clarusway, and then I'm gonna give some context to also not oversell it.
Okay.
I haven't finished my boot camp, and I already got the job. So I didn't even have to finish the boot camp on one hand. It is true though that there it played a role that a friend of mine that was also in marketing like I was a year ago finished her own boot camp, and she entered this program at the company where I am. And when I approached her to ask her how was the transition, how did she feel moving from marketing into IT, she told me that her experience had been great, and she strongly suggested this program in which the apprenticeship where she's working, the company where she's working right now. And that's another asterisk to the thing. It's a two-year contract as a trainee. So it's also not like I'm jumping straight into a software developer, but it's actually a very junior position, but rotating in different departments. So that's exactly what I wanted to really hone down the full stack role, work in different teams.
And well, that's so you're constantly learning anyway with IT. So you're going to be taking in knowledge and getting better and better no matter where you are, because that's part of the process.
Yeah, exactly. So with that said, the process was very fast, but I have to say that I nailed the interview, and the questions were really stuff that I had learned on Clarusway. So they were asking me questions, and I was just answering one question right after another, and I could really tell where in the class notes those questions were. There were probably a few that were not there, and I had read because of reading at some point around the topics.
I gotcha.
So that's also another plus for Clarusway, I would say.
That's awesome, man. That's great. Thank you very much.
And the interview preparation with the career management system.
That's cool. So could you tell us a bit about your new job? Well, you haven't started yet, but do you know what kind of a role that is that you're going to be doing? You did explain a little bit. Maybe you could elaborate on what you do know.
So the position is, the title is trainee in software development. And as I mentioned, the company I'm joining has different brands owns different brands. So I'll work in 3 of them in different teams. And that involves working with in some teams there will be tasks for front end, in other teams there would be tasks in the back end, and there will be more stuff related to data, not so related to, so there's gonna, each team works with different features. For example, in the first one that I'm joining, apparently that's gonna be working with features for people that want to sell stuff on that marketplace. So there's gonna be a user base, and we're gonna be working and the work should be around this user base to make them more successful selling their items.
Awesome. So when you were taking the boot camp, how many projects did you have to develop during your course? Do you remember?
Many.
A lot.
Yeah.
And so what did you think about those projects that they gave you to work on?
Very, Very good. They range from proper project with like specific requirements, like in the end looking like a project, to very small tasks. So you had a very broad range of stuff to deliver. So I think with that
Okay.
keeps you busy and practicing.
Cool. Excellent. So what now, I know you said you got the job before you ended the boot camp. And so did you approach them, or they approach you, or your friend?
My
You
friend
talked
told
to
me,
your
hey,
friend.
we're gonna start. They're gonna start searching for people soon. So you cannot lose anything for trying. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
sent my
of course,
CV.
of course.
Yeah, I sent my CV. They got back to me, and I had to work on a little business case, and then I
So
got an
you,
interview.
so you think that you were at the point with Clarusway where you could do that very easily?
I think I think the task with someone with more experience might come and say like, oh, it wasn't that hard of a task. But for me, for example, I knew some JavaScript from before, but I had no idea about front end, no idea about React as a library. So all that I learned in Clarusway, and
Very cool.
and props to Clarusway. I got the call. In the call, they told me that my solution was among the two best solutions.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's great. And so
Yeah,
how
that's props
far
to
you
the
said
training.
so how far were you into Clarusway when you got that job offer? How far?
I was close to finishing. I was like on the last third of the front end module.
Very cool. Very
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
So with the little we had seen of React by that point, and the rest that made it possible.
Excellent, man. I appreciate you very much. It's so nice that you can come and talk to us about your experience and what's going on. Es muy bien. Excelente.
Pleasure.
Yeah, that's great. We appreciate you being here and giving us that input. I'm sure it's going to help. Is there anything you can tell maybe future prospects that want to come and try Clarusway? Is there anything that you want to say to them in particular?
I think I could say stuff that I would have liked to have heard at some point in the past. That would be, do not overthink the how hard can it be? As in, I wouldn't say that programming is easy. I think it would be unfair to say that, oh yeah, it's just easy, you just need to sit down. But it definitely rewards effort. So if you really have the patience to sit down and not only read, but also have the patience with yourself to get error screen after error screen and not crack your laptop, maybe you do have the personality type to learn it, even if you're not so sure right now.
Very cool. That's perfect. Excellent. Very, very good. We appreciate you being here. Appreciate you taking the time.
Anytime.
To hold on. Do you have any questions for us?
Not right now. I heard that there was going to be events for the alumni at some point, so just keep me posted.
All right, great. Thank you. Excellent, my friend. And how often do you go back to Venezuela?
I haven't been there.
Yeah.
I haven't been there. I left
kind of
a lot
iffy right
before.
now, right?
Yeah, exactly. I left long before I came to Germany, and yeah, situation is what it is. So I haven't been there in a long time.
Very good. Well, thank you again, Daniel. Appreciate it very much. We
No
appreciate
problem.
your input. It's very, very helpful. And I wish you the best in the future.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And
again, I every time I get a conversation with someone from the course, I say thanks, because it was quite the experience.
Awesome. Very good. Appreciate your time, my friend. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you later.
Bye bye. Have a good one.
Ciao, ciao.